Good morning, everybody. This is Martin Wong here for the breakfast show with SMARTRobie. We are doing trading ideas for SMARTRobie for date 9 of April. Now, the revival of the rubber stock interest has given the KLCI much room to move up. As we seen yesterday, Supermax was up 20%, Top Glove was up almost maybe half of that amount. And this morning in here, will we see a continuation of the revival of what we call this sleeping stock? What do you think? Let me know on the chat up there or on the comment, and I'll be happy to even comment some of the stocks that you all have in here. But let's look at what we have in store with you in our headline in our breakfast show. And this is a good morning breakfast show from Martin in here. Now, today is the advanced level. So of course, in the advanced level of our breakfast show, we'll be looking at this agenda, right? The premium alert, of course. And on the other Wednesday and Monday, we'll be looking at the Pentagon Guider as well as the trending stock. So, but today is the advanced level in here, and we have selected 2 trade ideas for you, and also able to look at our past lesson learned from the trade idea that we have last Friday in here. But before that, let's look at the headlines that we have across the Bursa roundup. Now, definitely one in ARM is our mega merger between the big telco players. And over time, we have seen there are so many telco players, like smaller one like U-Mobile, and even there's another one, XOX. They are coming, taking market share away from this. As such, the bigger guys like Celcom and DG decided to merge. And this morning, we have seen the market price really move up, I think. Let's take a look at DG right now. And we can type that in, DG. All right, hit that. So you can see DG definitely looking at the live stock prices here. You will see it is up 13%. That's right. And let's look at the Axiata. Okay, Axiata. And Axiata is also, let's look at the price here. Axiata is also, this was the night before, and notice it turned green Pentagon blue trend zone already a while. And let's look at Axiata this morning in here, and let's look at the live stock prices. And you will see it is up 8% too. So both shares are going up, and usually we don't. Usually we get the smaller one, I believe in this case is DG, will be eat up by Celcom because of the bigger Axiata, but it all based on the subscriber rate in here. And that looking pretty good for the local telco player in here. And those of you who have hold this stock over some time, I think would benefit from this merger in here. Let's move on to our next news. Now, our next news in here is the resurgent of the rubber glove stock. Now, yesterday, we have seen rubber glove added another 49 cents. Let's see this morning here, will we see similar for Top Glove? Okay, so we hit that Top Glove. Switching to a wider chart here, and let's look at the live stock prices. And it is down 2%. So we usually see some sort of profit taking. Let's look at Supermax, which had a good run yesterday, about 22%. All right, Supermax hit that one more time. And you can see this morning on it's down 4% in here, hitting back in there, and 20% with a 4% drop is off. But more important is, let me just go back to Top Glove, and just to share with you, all right, the signal or the green Pentagon that came in much earlier in here, and you will see this, right? You have a chance actually on just on the early April, and you want to, after the Pentagon comes out, you want to enter in the morning. And that's what we always share in our Pentagon trading strategies, which actually we talk about those rules. Those of you who have came from the last week for the trading view technical analysis, we actually catch up with you on those rules inside here. But nevertheless, if not, we will refresh those rules again in our next coming workshop of SmartRobie. So make sure you check out the date in here. So going back to here, the Top Glove sort of search up. This is due to the news of Top Glove has received net inflow by foreign funds recently. So Top Glove and this new sort of breakout very timely. And but then again, if you look at the chart wise, there was a very nice wash, right? And you can see on this side here, hitting the ATR stop loss, washes everybody, and then have this thing out. There is a lot of time market tend to do that. You can also see from the chart wise, we have two what we call a double bottom. So the double bottom is formed, the market pushes up, and I think going forward, a possible retest to 6 ringgit 40 cents and 7 is definitely there. So those of you who are expert, you might want to wait for a pullback, but definitely this does signify a nice buying after we have seen Top Glove coming in. And of course, you can always key in the trading plan. And why I want to show you this is because if we hit the trading plan, there is a date there. All right, notice the date, the quarterly earnings, 11th of June 2021. So if the earnings is good, then we'll see this start to take out. So you hear it first time from the breakfast show from SmartRobie. That's right. So let's move on to our next news. Now, the next news is looking at Pardini, a local apparel player in here, and it's been very, very popular, and it has seen a resurgence of the stock price in here. So let's type in Pardini, right? So we want to check that out too, and look at this live stock prices. This morning, Pardini is down minus 1.5% here. But let's look at the stock comment. Now, take note of it. Let me just blow this up again, switching a wider chart. You can definitely see in here, it first turned green pentagon on 7th of February. And if you look at the SmartRobie fact, Pardini has a winning rate of 57% with every green pentagon since 9 October 2019. So it has done 7 back-tested trade SmartRobie in there, and if you have followed that, you have a 16.9% return from the green pentagon. So that looks pretty good, and partly this smart money, we believe, they want to pick this and start to move up, if you've seen from the chart here. And it's partly maybe due to the news that you've seen above because of the seasonal sales. And do know Hari Raya is coming. We're going to have the Puasa next weekend after our masterclass, and usually Hari Raya is one of the big times where people do some buying of new clothing, and I think some of you may also do very similarly. So we are seeing that very good for Pardini in here. Let's move on to our next news, right? And it's no other than GFM Services. Now, GFM Services is the integrated facility provider in here. They did come once for our talk in here, and we have seen it has a lot of government projects. You can see on this site here, the company shall continue to manage 5 areas, educational cities, hubs, and things like that, and that is looking very positive. But let's look at the stock chart. All right, so we always want to look at the stock chart and just don't buy definitely on. We're going to see a little bit of accumulation in here. So let's look at the stock comment. All right. And you can see here was a big movement. Now, typically, this is the kind of smart money we talk about, right? You have low accumulation during in February. Then the volume came in on the 28th of February, hit up, washes down, a pullback, and then try to distribute at 45 cents. And since then, this stock doesn't seem to be going anywhere, reacting to news. Still holding up, but do take note, it is on the yellow trend zone and likely to move sideways or downwards in here. Going forward, this kind of news depending on the government changes in here. So is this a growth stock? Maybe not. All right. So let's move on to our next story that we have for you. Right, it's no other than the US market. That's right. Now the US market continue to hit new high and holding above 33,000 in here. And one interesting point which I've always been talking about is the US interest rate 10-year yield starting to taper off after it hit the double top at 1.76% in here, now started to tip off to 1.6. So that's why we are seeing the rally that we see in technology stocks. So those of you who are looking to join us on our masterclass, definitely next Wednesday we'll be trading the US market, and there is a lot of potential stock from the screener, especially members, those of you who have the US stock screener in here, check it out, and that one will definitely put you in the right position. Also at the same time, a lot of analysts is also talking about what we see here, the bubble territory. Also check out one of the video that I have done recently on the YouTube or on the Facebook. In here I talk about whether we are in market bubble or not, and check out what are my points that you want to look at, and at least be familiar with that, so this information will come handy when you are in the market trading off in there. And not to forget, our main goal of our breakfast show is always been to enhance your performance of your portfolio in there, and definitely using our Pentagon guided trading portfolio strategy. You could see we are making very good remark in here. 106% for year 2020 on the backtested result, 35%. That is actually making about 100 over. And I also posted in the Facebook. So far, there's very no response yet. How has your portfolio been over the last 3 months? If those of you who want to share in there, and the best reply will get 300 free credit in here. All right, do take note. Go over to the SmartRobie pin post and give me your take about your performance so far from January to March. And we are here to help you in many ways we can. And one of the reasons why, because our portfolio using real money in here is still up 31,000, 10.3% up so far compared to the KLCI minus 0.8. And those rules, again, I've talked about again. We've been flashing those rules inside there. And the question is very important. You are able to follow those rules and able to profit, just like what we have done so far for January to March. Something that you want to think about in here, and definitely to enhance your knowledge in the education of trading and investing in the stock market in the context of the KLSE. Okay, so let's go on to what we have next is the highlight from the leaderboard of our one straight in here. I think the highest we had about this is a more recent one, back to 25th February, 20%, Armada hit 8, but the more recent one is item number 5, Samaiden, which we pick it up on the 26th of March, continue to make new high. We will look at that in here, but take note of the short burst movement. Usually in a lot of our advanced trade ID in here, they tend to move in very quick successful move also, so take note of that one. And here will be our review of our advanced idea in here that we pick it up. JCY, High Tech last week, and Samaiden 26th of March. They haven't shown much movement, nor they did go down, but let me just pick it up in here. Let's look at the first one. All right, I'll bring this up in here, and this is the daily chart that we see now. Last week we were here. JCY was really grinding and building up a very nice, what we call a classical. Okay, let me just turn this off a bit. Okay. All right, pull this a bit here on the trading wheel, and you can see it's this a classical accumulation. Volumes are very low, and on the 2nd of April, we saw this, and then we have this climatic, and this usually is what we call, let me just turn on the trade VSA in here, and you could see there were no demands here, and the market really makes up a nice movement. Let me just refresh this so you can see better in here. All right, and there you go. So we have the climatic movement in here, and as such, the market actually banned better, but it's okay. It's still holding up nicely level in here, and this morning it's up 1.33% in here. Let's look at the next one. Is High Tech. So we just type High Tech here. High Tech. So High Tech was picked up on 2nd April. Immediately a day after, there was a sell-off of about 4% here, but it did move back up. Now right back today is 2% in here, and you see it takes a while to do this bit of congestion. All right, do take note. This is some of those advanced trade. That's why it's important for you to study these charts. And those of you who are the beginner and intermediate level, you want to go back to the Monday and Wednesday session to watch those kind of stocks that we pick, either Pentagon or trending stocks. The advanced one tend to be more volatile, and they have make big movement in their very quick succession here. Okay, so if you enjoy what you've seen so far, do give me a thumbs up, and do take note, those of you who are listening for the first time, do type 1 so we will know we have some new members in here. And don't forget to like and follow our SmartRobie website in here. And let's look at what we have for you in next onwards. okay, is Samaiden, all right, SAMIADE. This is a renewable energy play, right? And when we first pick it up here was the 26th, okay, 26th of March. This was the day 26th at the Green Pentagon when it first came out, right? And it sort of continue to make up, and then we have a nice 8% movement in here, partly aligned with what Joe Biden green 2.3 trillion infrastructure projects. You can see this is going up. This is actually a very nice movement. All the renewable energy is up, and it's up 12.84% going forward in here. This would mean it pick it up very nicely at the Green Pentagon in here. How high will it go? Just follow the trading plan that we have so far for you. All right. So those are the lesson learned for all those three in here. JCY and High Tech pretty much unchanged after 1 week, but some of them has subsequent. Now, it's very important that what the lesson we want to show here is that you need to give some time for the stocks to move up. And when you have time for it to move up, there you'll see usually a lot of the stocks that go up like that. All right, so let's also see what we have. Those of you who want to, yes, we have some new people in here. Thank you for coming. All right, let's look at what is our next trade idea. Now, for the episode 56, for the 9th of March, and remember the premium alert that you see here. All right, this one here, let me just share with you. All right, over on the left-hand side here, the premium alert is updated every 30 minutes. Updated every 30 minutes. So let's look at the first one that we have is VIS. All right, let's look at the first one that we have for VIS. Okay, we have VIS here. VIS. All right, VIS Dynamics, and this is beautiful. You got no supply pickup, and this is a very classical low volume in here. And then you're coming in, we got a lot of VF, one of the indicator that is proprietary of one of our coaches. It's also available for you to pick it up in here. Is our volume flow indicator, very accurate in here, and it looks like it may start to move up. So take note of VIS. And the next one we have is Scomnet. Okay, let's look at Scomnet. Scomnet technology or Supermax. You can see this one picks up in here much earlier. If you have gone in during the first Green Pentagon, right, and you can see here on the opening now it's already 10% already. All right, 10%. But today is the trade idea for episode 56. Today we are picking Scomnet, and there is also a bonus which is DNO, highly which is one of the stocks we've been picking up a bit, and it's still continue to move up. DNO green technology, you can see since Green Pentagon from here onwards, if you're able to get in on the market opening here, right, and all the way to here, wow, that is a 25% gain on DNO in here. So I always want to ask, being a train trader and a train investor, the agenda that we have is very important for you to able to cycle through some of the stocks that didn't do so well. You cut loss, make sure if you do cut, it's a small loss, and don't proliferate until you get a big content. Again, going back to the agenda, we always talk about train trader and train investor in here. What is your agenda this year, right? Getting education is important, but taking action is more important, like what we've seen so far. Things don't work, change and move, and so you will perform, your portfolio perform. That's why I go back to the initial portfolio in here. How has your portfolio done for January to March? All right, including those have done well plus your cash. Cash is also important, take note of it, right? Because if you put in 30,000, you didn't invest, you put everything in cash, then end of the year, all right, then there is what we call required rate of return, because you need to make money, correct? Else, what's the whole point of putting money in the stock market in here? So those are some of the lesson learned and things like that we really want to teach in our forthcoming weekend. This weekend we are doing our course. We still have some seats left. Those of you who still want to join us tonight in here, usually Malaysians are all last minute fellas, okay? All right, and let's go on to the next stocks, next section that we have. Right, and let's go on. Okay, so the charts that we already talked about in here is the what we call the stepping volume. So take note, when any stocks that you look at, you want to make sure there is a step up volume. All right, charts are going higher and there's a step up volume, and then finally you get this line change inside here. These are some of the lesson learned. Do check out the QR code for our Trade VSA tutorial for all the sign strength sign explanation using in here. It's a 9-minute tutorial. All right, and also do register for our next coming workshop. This is a free workshop for being a SmartRobie user. Will be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in here on the 17th of April, Saturday in here. And we're going to be going through all the respective and some of the new features that we have in here that you will see. Definitely the fun that you see a lot is the hot sectors. Okay, check that one out. If not, we will do that on the 17th of April. Okay. And don't forget, tonight our masterclass will start. That's right, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So on this coming Monday, there won't be any breakfast show, and I will see you guys on Wednesday breakfast show. On Wednesday night, which is our usual live talk, will be the live trading members, because this is a time where you guys who have committed your time to learn the skill from pass on from Tom Williams to me, and for me to pass on to you. And that's really what the highlights of our masterclass. So those of you who want to, we do have installment payment also to India. All right, let's look at the next section in here. Don't forget to share and become a top fans for our promotion month for April to June. This is where you share and you're able to get 300 points for every month being our top fans in our Facebooks in there. Those of you who are, and also you'll get a preference for our stock review that we have. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the stock review. And those of you who have not done the stock review, you want to get the first priority, we have the QR code in there, and we really appreciate you can go over there and give us a good review. Either it's from a Google Play Store or Apple Play Store. Wow, we're going to be looking at your stocks inside here. Miss Lee, can't wait for the masterclass. Yeah, sure, tonight we'll start at 8 o'clock. All right, so let's go through this stock list that I have. We got this Lai Kok Fong. We will definitely look in there, and I'm just going to scan through and see whether there are any particular stock lists here that is important for me to look at. We got Yuki here. All right, asking about Dagang Net. If you are talking about entry price, etc., check out SmartRobie. Follow the SmartRobie advice inside there. All right, I think that's the easiest to do. If not, always have and look at the charts. Okay, learn to look at the charts. That will definitely put you in the right spot. So we will look at there was one in here, Ravinder. All right, I know Ravinder. Ravinder is one of our public in here. So let's take a look at Rubber Max. All right. So Rubber Rex. All right. Rubber Rex, very similar, as I said before, very similar to Top Glove in here. Follow the trading plan that is provided by SmartRobie for this one. It's going to be a really wow ride. I think most of you, Ravinder, you are, depending whether you know how to read the Trade VSA chart or not. If not, continue to follow us, and then you know and able to follow the plan. Join my evening session with my colleague, Zac, on Monday and Friday, and as well as Arif on Thursday too. So you're able to pick up many of these things available for you. If not, simply continue to use SmartRobie and attend our SmartRobie in here. Reading the charts is important. One of you have it there. Okay, let's go on to Pramesh. There is a person, Prakash is asking, go over to our comment below there and check it out. Okay, and also text one of our in here. All right, we have some show here, Cynthia, Chandra. Okay, we will look at Mayfen, as I said before, being a priority reviewer when you update us. Okay, let's look at the Micron Steel. Yeah, the Steel is doing very well. Continue to run it, and those of you who know, Steel already started running much earlier in February. So this is one of the things that we talk about, the sectors. And when you have one of the right sectors, again, going back to the agenda, if you want to be trained or not, or you just want to pick here and do, and you always go benchmark. All right, so this one's good. Micron, even press metals, all the steel stocks are running well in here. All right, and let me just check the others that I have here. We got Cynthia, you got Chandran. All right, And we probably do another one, which is one of our member, Lai Kok Fong Turia. All right. And the others we will do in another session in here. But if, all right, so because it's just not enough time for that one. So Turia currently right now, you can see Turia, we did pick this, but we have green pentagon in here. The market continued to move sideways in here. A lot of what we call yellow trend zone in here. We haven't seen much of the volume, very similar to MYEG. Right, if you look at MYEG, this continued to move sideways. It's just a matter of time. Remember the previous the trade setup we showed you one, the little bar. Pay attention to the small narrow bar. Right, you haven't seen any step up volume yet, so we were just waiting for this to break out, and that is one of the secret in VSA. So that's all we have for today in here. If you want to review your stock review in here, be our first priority user and give me your feedback on the Google Play Store and Apple Play Store on the SmartRobie in here. All right, so the remaining of the time, we'd like to thank you for coming in here. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so not to be missed out in all our talk. And also those of you who are first time, do join our stock market Telegram chat room for all the information. If not, I'll see you tonight on our masterclass. We start at 8 p.m. in here, and I'll be with you for the next 4 days. Bye-bye.